Hi there, this is Stephen with Karma Astrology. Welcome to my channel. Today is Thursday, September 2nd. It's 9:17 a.m. here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's the year 2021. Welcome to my Karma Astrology channel, where I like to do daily forecasts on the regular and getting back into it again after taking a little time off. So bear with me. But in the meantime, today the moon is in Punarvasu Nakshatra, as you can see up here, and you can see that MO up in the top corner in Gemini. That's that top right corner of the screen is the moon, and that PUN after the moon, after 2256, is the Nakshatra, or the Indian constellation of the moon. What that all means is that currently the moon is in Gemini and it's moving into Cancer, and this section of the zodiac is associated with this sign that's called the return of the light. So, light behind me. So the idea being that this is all about second chances. This is about redos, do-overs, anything that has re in it. So remembering, recognizing, just, I guess, redos, repeats, anything like that is kind of the theme of the day today, because the moon will be here until, as you can see up here, at 7:12 a.m. Eastern Time, US. So if you're looking at this over the next 24 hours, this should be viable. And Punarvasu also deals with this sense of kind of returning of the light. There's this darkness that comes before Punarvasu in yesterday, which was basically ruled by or connected to Ardra, and Ardra is this nakshatra of the dark storm cloud, which comes to cleanse the air, comes to cleanse the energy, cleanse society of all things that aren't kind of dharmic or working in harmony with nature, and kind of return us back to this state, this return back to the light, just the knowledge, the understanding, the truth that's all around us all the time. So there's this kind of relief today. There's this rejuvenation that we all are kind of feeling, where it's like, oh, okay, yesterday's gone, today's a new day, the sun rose this morning, and just like every morning, there's that kind of new opportunity. That's what today is really about, this return of the light. And so, getting into it, I'll show you where it is in the sky, just to give you a good idea. This is actually the constellation Gemini in the sky, if we look up there, and I'll switch over to the sky map now so that you can see, and I'll pray that, there we go, that it's working. Okay, I'll do that. Looks like that's a little low, but I will adjust that. Here we go. Alright, so you can see there's the moon. It's in the middle of Gemini constellation right there. I can zoom out a little bit to show you, we came out of Taurus. This orange line is the path of the moon, and it's going towards the sun down here, which is in Leo. So we're approaching this new moon time. It's the last few days of the waning crescent moon, and that means that it's kind of this dissipating energy where we're feeling a little bit more emotional, bit more volatile in our emotions. We can change our emotions a lot more quickly than usual, because when the moon is getting very close to the sun's energy kind of shines through and is able to really overpower the moon in a lot of ways. So it makes us think more about those kind of masculine concepts, because the sun is this divine masculine energy which deals with our ability to create, our ability to kind of act and think, and the moon is related to our ability to feel and sense and intuit. So that divine feminine side of us is the moon, divine masculine is the sun. As the moon gets closer to the sun is so bright that it kind of overshadows the moon, but it definitely still influences our emotions big time, since that's the moon's main sphere of influence in our lives. So we'll see it's going to keep moving to the left, through Cancer and into Leo. So if you look up in the night sky, I think it's maybe actually just the early morning sky is probably when you're able to see it. Yeah, so if you look up in the early morning tomorrow, you'll be able to see the moon rise up in Gemini. Okay, and I'm going to just talk about some of the different qualities of Punarvasu just to close this out. Trying to make these a little shorter in general so that it doesn't take up too much of your time in the day, and you can get a lot out of this, a lot of value out of this anyways. Alright, so in terms of some of the qualities, some of the, I guess the symbol of Punarvasu is the bow and quiver, and this is a special bow and quiver where this is the bow of, that was basically Shiva's bow, is impossible to string for anyone without tremendous amount of power and confidence and spiritual prowess. Shiva's bow, you know, there's this whole story in the Ramayana, the story of the god King Rama, showing that he won his wife over, or he won the father of his wife by being able to string this bow, and he even snapped the bow in half when he strung it, and the bow is kind of a symbol of the ego. So the ego is like this tool that we use, of course, you know, the identification factor in our lives where, you know, I'm a man, I'm Stephen, you're this, you're that, you know, all that like kind of ego identification is what we're trying to kind of suss out and use as a tool in order to kind of experience higher states of consciousness. And that is, you know, what we're doing on a day like today is getting closer to stringing that bow, to kind of bending the ego to our will, to our spiritual will, and using it, you know, in order to help others grow and help ourselves grow closer and closer to our sense of unity or union or yoga. And then the arrows are these kind of these divine weapons that are meant to basically keep us straight and focused on our goals, on our objectives of that kind of higher states of consciousness and awakening to more and more greater and greater states of awareness. And these arrows are special arrows that actually return back to the quiver when we're done shooting them. So there's that kind of special symbolism there where we have this regenerative property, this renewal property like Punarvasu, that return of the light, the return of our power, and it deals a lot with our potential energy or our latent spiritual tendencies that can be awakened on a day like today if we choose to pick up the bow, if we choose to use the ego and say, oh, look, I have this, you know, attachment here. How do I break that attachment? How do I kind of ease it into submission in a way so that, you know, because the goal ultimately is to relieve ourselves of our karmas, of our attachments, so that we can kind of merge with the greater good. It might be a little esoteric for you, but if you're familiar with Hindu philosophy, it should make sense. Some of the strengths on a day like today are that it makes us kind of in a better mood, it makes us kind-hearted, you know, we're focused on acts that are good for ourselves and the community. We can be friendlier, more content, nurturing. It brings out our sense of generosity, of course. There's a sense of ease where things kind of naturally fall into place on a day like today, especially after the first time. If we screw up yesterday, or, you know, maybe earlier in the day and later in the day things get a little better, we get, you know, we tend to be offered second chances. So it's hard to do things right the first time on a day like today, but the second time tends to be, you know, tends to work. And if, you know, the second time doesn't work, you know, try again, the old expression. And then on the weakness or the shadow qualities of today, it can make us a little fickle, indecisive, a little mercurial, overcritical. It can lead to an oversimplified perspective. Maybe that's what I'm trying to work on, is being able to explain kind of that the nuance of the simplicity, and that's something that we can kind of dive into on a day like today in our lives, wherever we're kind of not really getting the point. We can dive a little bit deeper and get some more information and see how it all kind of fits together, all the pieces in our issues or in our life kind of fits together on a day like today. It can bring about a lot of boredom, and it can kind of lead to this sense of just this inability to take direct action, because we get a little indecisive about what direction we want to take. There seem to be so many options, so many things that we can, you know, attack. That's why we have a whole quiver full of arrows. And the idea behind this day is that it's good to remember that and to just really hone our focus on one thing, especially if it's just a moon transit, which is just a one-day transit. So in terms of favorable activities, it's a good day for exploration, for travel, to use your imagination and innovation, to connect with kind of mother goddess figures, to take care of children or some people that are in need. It can help with agriculture and gardening and education, and it can help with our meditation practice. And then in terms of unfavorable activities, it's not a great day to get into arguments or legal disputes, legal matters. It's not a good day for lending and borrowing of money or any sort of conflict or aggressive action, as is seen through those legal disputes. So that being said, if there's something that you failed at yesterday, something that you're working to keep on going with, or to renew your vigor, your purpose, your meaning in life, today's a great day to focus on that, to imagine all the different ways that you can take action that will help you to progress in whatever goals you have. All right, that being said, it's at 11:25 into the stream, so I'm going to call it quits. I hope you all have a fantastic day. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see these on a daily basis. And otherwise, you can check out my link in my profile for reading. I do personalized readings where I can tell you all about where your planets are and the whole birth chart, and kind of give you ideas as to what you can do to kind of progress in your life or take on the challenges that face you. All right, peace and love. Have a great day.